Welcome to another episode of the Bottom of the Stream Movie Show. My name is Adam.
My name's Nick. Welcome back aboard where we are looking for gems at the bottom of the Netflix stream.
We are indeed. That is what we do. We scour the bottom of Netflix, watch some movies and tell you if they're any good.
That is very succinct.
Thank you. That's basically what it is, isn't it?
It is.
So this week we haven't found a movie. Nick has found a movie.
Yes.
Nick has played his wild card. So every season, me, Nick and our Patreons all get a wild card. So we get to choose the movie.
We do.
Rather than being them randomly selected. And Nick has chosen Robot Overlords.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
How could you not?
What a title.
What a title.
Now, just before you go any further, I'm not saying I chose this just on its title, but it was definitely the combination of a movie with this sort of title and who's in it.
Yes. Cast and title together are a baffling concept.
They do not mesh.
They don't seem
on
to
paper.
mesh. That is very true. So Robot Overlords was released in 2014. It is a 12A. It runs for exactly 1 hour and 30 minutes and is currently rated at 4.6 out of 10 on IMDb.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay. I think it seems low to me.
Okay.
But we'll as we go through it, we'll decide if I'm
I
right
suppose,
or
yeah, in comparison to some of the things we've seen, maybe it is. Yeah,
Tad
feels quite low.
not. I can't quite believe I'm going to say this next line. This film stars Sir Ben Kingsley.
It does.
He plays a character called Robin Smythe.
Yes.
Do I need to say what Ben Kingsley's most famous for?
He
won an Oscar for Gandhi.
Yeah.
He's in Schindler's List.
Yes.
He's had 4 Oscar nominations in total and won 1.
There you go.
He's Hollywood royalty?
Yeah, British royalty.
Absolutely British royalty.
He's a sir.
Absolutely Hollywood royalty. Biggest name we've had on the show? He's
in
in the conversation.
Yeah.
He's definitely in the conversation.
Sure. I mean, in terms of trophies on shelves, he might be.
It might be. He very much might be. But then it also stars Gillian Anderson.
Yeah, she's a pretty big deal.
Kate. She plays a character called Kate. Obviously most famous for The X-Files.
Yeah.
But she's also a Netflix babe.
Yeah, I guess so.
She's in Sex Education. She's in The
Margaret
Crown.
Thatcher.
She's Margaret Thatcher in The Crown. She was in The Fall.
Yeah.
She has won 2 Emmys.
Nice.
Yeah, she was nominated for quite a few over her X-Files life.
Sure.
But she won 1 for The X-Files, 1 for The Crown.
Okay.
I bet was nominated loads of times for The X-Files, but only ever won it once. And finally, this film stars Callan McAuliffe.
Okay.
Callan McAuliffe.
Easy for you to say.
He plays a character called Sean Flynn. He's Australian.
Sure.
So you know what we do with Australians on this show?
Yeah.
We find out if they've ever been in Neighbours or Home and Away.
Has he ever been in Neighbours or Home and Away?
No.
Oh.
Neither.
That's not topical enough.
Mainly because he moved over to the UK quite early in his life and he's got Irish ancestry. His parents are both Irish. He's most famous. You would recognise him if you've watched The Walking Dead. Yeah. He's in 55 episodes of The Walking Dead. He plays a character called Alden.
Okay.
And I did recognise him.
Must have been after I stopped watching.
I think he does come in quite late in the series. I stopped watching that just before the final season and I have no intention of ever going back to it. Fine. Written by, there's a writing duo, Mark Stay and Jon Wright, and directed by Jon Wright. Jon Wright hasn't really done anything film-wise before. Okay. But do you remember a couple of weeks ago I mentioned a TV show called Brassic?
Yes.
What was that film called? Holy Water.
Yeah, Hard Times.
Hard Times. Or one of the other. I mentioned that then. He's actually directed 6 episodes of Brassic.
Oh, interesting.
So things come around on this show. Yeah. It's weird, isn't it?
Small world.
Do you have a one-word review of Robot Overlords?
010111000111100.
Excellent. What does that translate to? Somebody will do that. You might have just swore.
All I say to that is 01.
Where does this film start, Nick?
We've got some words on the screen. You've got to do a bit of reading to start this movie.
Do you want me to read it to you?
If you have it.
I have it. The first words say, 3 years ago, robots invaded Earth. The war lasted 11 days. And then it comes up, today is day 1264 of the occupation when we are... This isn't right now. This is I can't remember. The manipulator, is it called? Something along those lines.
Mediator.
Mediator. I knew the word. Mediator's an odd character in this film.
Yeah.
So he comes on the screen now and he says, this is day 1264 of the occupation. When we are done studying, we will leave.
Yeah.
They're done.
You can go about your business.
We will go. But in the meantime, you must obey one rule. Stay indoors.
Yeah.
This one rule nobody obeys. I would say the majority of this film is outside.
Yeah. And basically everyone's been rigged up by the robot overlords.
Everybody has an implant in their brain
Yeah.
to track them and to make sure they are inside. And if they go outside, then they get obliterated by a robot.
They've got like a few seconds to get back inside their house.
Basically.
Because we learned that because we cut to a street in a seaside town where a man gets exploded for not getting back inside his house quick enough.
Yeah, that's how this film starts.
Yeah.
This man he's had enough of being inside. He seems to live alone with his only child.
Yes.
And decided he'd rather get blown up than look after his own son.
Yes.
It's what's happened there, isn't it? He's basically screaming out in the street. This massive robot comes on, tells him to go home, and then he gets obliterated in front of his son. His son then runs out to his whatever remains of his body.
Yeah.
And then his son nearly gets shot. But he gets saved by Ben Kingsley.
Yeah, who turns up. He is fully human.
Yep.
He gives an override code.
Yep.
And says to the young kid, for some reason he's gone with a northern accent. It's past your bedtime, son.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the hell's going on here?
Firstly,
what do you think of the robots?
They look quite cheap.
Effects-wise.
They were all right. I've seen worse.
I thought they were okay anytime it was just a tracking shot.
Yeah.
Or we were just looking at robots against a landscape. Anytime a actual human actor had to interact with a robot.
Yes, that's true.
This did not look very good.
It didn't. Ben Kingsley does most of your interacting with robots. Callan McAuliffe does as well. But yeah, they look nice on their own. But they look all right, though, to be fair.
They look better than I was expecting.
Yes, that's a fair comment.
A theme through this, for me, will be this looked more expensive than I was expecting.
yeah, there's a budget here, definitely.
Yeah.
They had a cinema release. This film had a cinema release, so there's definitely something. I'm not quite sure what's happened, how it's got made, but it has, and it has a cast. So
it's a B movie direct to video that somehow has
attracted Oscar winners.
Got some money onto it, and I'd quite like to know the story behind it.
Me too.
There appears to be none because it's quite hard to find.
Yeah, there's nothing about
anything on this movie.
This movie doesn't exist on the internet.
Definitely just have been snuck out.
Yeah. This movie doesn't exist on the internet. It's very bizarre. There's a lady over the road. She lives over the road. She's called Kate. This is Gillian Anderson.
She does, yeah.
This is Gillian Anderson's character. She wants to take in the young kid.
It's like, don't take him off to robot orphanage.
Yeah. I'll take him in. He can live with me. His name's Connor. He's probably, 12?
Yeah.
11, 12. So they all go over to Kate's house, which is... She's got like 3 kids already that she's taken in. Connor's there now as well, the young kid.
I think Connor's her actual son, and then she's took in...
No, Sean's her actual son.
Sean's her actual son.
Connor's the young kid. And Smythe's there as well. Turns out he's like the area leader. He's in charge. He's the robot voice of human.
Yeah. He's just got to keep
his
zone
He's the human voice of the
control.
robots. Yeah, he's got to keep his zone under control for the robots. So they're all
he's
there.
also a massive perv for Kate.
Yeah, he's massively crushing on Kate. He's basically his position's voluntary. We found out this at this point. His position's voluntary, and he basically just makes sure that people are not going uprising against the robots.
But it's really lazy characterization, isn't it? Because he's literally like, "Oh, Kate, yes, you're very nice. Yes, you're doing a great job looking after this kid." And as soon as she goes out of the room, he literally turns around and is like, "You fucking kids, you're all no good. I've got my eye on you."
Yeah,
you little bastards.
It's a really paper thin character. Played by Ben Kingsley.
Yeah.
It's really bizarre.
Why is he doing this?
Yeah, why is he doing this? I've written here, Kate seems to take in kids. There's one of them that's hers, as we mentioned, but then the rest of them aren't. The next day, Connor runs home to get some of his stuff. Because Kate's like, you need to go and get some of your stuff.
Yeah, so go and get the essentials.
But be quick, because you're not
got
allowed to be outside. Yeah. So he runs to get some stuff, comes back with his arms full of toys and stuff.
Yeah,
he's 12.
Viking helmet on.
Yeah. And he nearly gets caught, but this is the first time we meet one of the giant robots.
Yes. They're like the
Stompy walker robot things. He nearly gets caught, but he doesn't. This is where we find out that they have implants in their brains. And over in here, the TV robot says that they are studying, and he basically reaffirms that they're studying and they will leave at some point when they're done. This is the mediator.
This is just like a disembodied head at this stage on the TV.
It's like a robot boy. it's a really odd character. When they've learned everything they need to know about humans, they'll leave the planet and we can go back to doing what we were.
Exactly.
Then we see a guy catapulting tennis balls out of his back door.
Yeah.
What was he doing?
So this was Sean.
Yeah.
Kate's son and
Main character?
I suppose the lead of this movie.
Yeah, I guess it's the
And what he's doing is putting missing person posters into tennis balls that he cut open and then firing them using a homemade catapult across into the street and over fences and stuff because he's looking for his dad.
Oh, okay.
But
I didn't quite understand what he was doing or why
it's not a good strategy.
No.
Because they ain't going to go that far.
No.
And it's a small... So we're just seeing this. So the whole planet is enslaved.
Yeah.
But we are very much just seeing this. Because it's a really small town. It's a small, like, seaside town.
I believe this film was filmed on the Isle of Man.
So we're
you can
just...
imagine the type of area.
Yeah, we're just seeing it in a snapshot of this small town. So, I mean... Yeah, it seems like a weird strategy.
Yeah.
Yeeting tennis balls
world.
across the neighbourhood.
Then we get a montage of him trying to keep himself fit. He's doing pull-ups. He's doing running upstairs. Then the kids are all taught. This is basically a kids' film. It's a teen.
It's a young adult.
It's a young adult film. We're with the kids now. We stay with the kids.
I kind of can imagine this might have been an alright book.
Yes. Yeah, like a teen fiction. Youth fiction type thing.
And it's for various reasons, it's just not quite worked, has it? Yeah.
No.
It's turned into an odd film.
Yeah. So the kids are talking about Smythe and how there's a rumour going around.
He's a massive perv.
And he's a massive perv, and there's a rumour going around that he killed his wife and his kid.
And his wife was cheating on him and he killed her and her lover.
Yeah. Whilst they're having this conversation, they're trying to fix their PlayStation.
Yeah.
Because that's all they've got to do. If they lose their PlayStation, they've got nothing to do. And Nathan, or Nath as they call him, accidentally electrocutes himself.
Yeah, because they're like hooking it up to a car battery.
Yeah, to try and fix it somehow. Yeah. He thinks the battery's off or disconnected. It isn't, and he flies across the room, much like that guy in The Trip the other week when he got shotgunned. And when he wakes up and people go to check on him, they realise that his tracker's not working.
Yeah, his implant's been
switched off. Which they then realise that they can now go outside.
Yeah.
Or he can go outside.
Indeed.
So they have a bit of a dance. They all start dancing randomly.
And soon after, the other three kids, so you've got Sean, who is Kate's real son.
Yep.
You've got Alex,
yep,
who is
Nathan's sister.
Yeah, she's the girl one.
The girl one.
Nathan, who's the boy one.
Yeah.
And then little Connor.
Yes.
So they all sort of follow suit.
Yep.
And they all take this electric shock.
Yeah, we don't see any of the rest of them taking the shock, but the next time we see them, it's nighttime and they're all outside.
Indeed.
So we just assume that they've all taken this electric shock and they can now go outside because their implant's not working.
Where's the first place you head?
Shop.
It's the Railway Museum gift shop.
Of course it is. Why not? Before they get there, a robot walks straight past them and doesn't notice them. So this is them confirming that the implants are not working anymore. And I've written here, they run straight to the Railway Museum. Because why not?
Cool, kids, man. Absolute hell raisers.
And they do. They raid the sweet shop. This shop, which is a Railway Museum gift shop, appears to sell sweets and fireworks. And nothing further.
Yes.
For some reason, it sells fireworks. Connor steals a load of fireworks, and the rest of them steal a load of sweets. And then, somehow, they've got a note about Sean's dad. I didn't see where this came from.
This didn't make sense.
No.
So this was...
They appeared to find it in the shop.
Yeah, this was exactly the sort of corner cutting that happens a few times in this movie where something's just happened because it moves the plot along.
Yeah.
So Connor's been out looking around the shop, or he's nipped outside, and he says, "Oh, I found this note."
Yeah.
And it is someone has taken the hand-drawn wanted poster that Sean had previously launched via tennis ball catapult and scrawled on it, your dad was captured after the fighting, people were moved on to zones, the files of people's locations are kept at the school, good luck.
Yeah.
And Connor's just like, I found this outside.
I didn't twig where it came from.
Yeah.
And I was like, where have they just had that from?
So,
I wasn't sure if Sean always had it or now he can outside his got
So
it.
it's completely coincidence that it's at the one place they decided to go to.
Yeah.
And that someone had just written it and left it.
Yeah.
It's not rained.
No.
There was no chance of this going back to Sean, apart from the fact he just happened to be here at this time at this place.
Plus, who's left it? If nobody's allowed to leave home.
No one
could have.
No one questions that.
No.
Either.
I questioned it.
Yeah.
So
but they don't question how is this. Yeah.
But no, you're right.
It's stupid. It's so stupid.
It's cheap.
Yeah.
So they now know they need to go to the school to find out where Sean's dad got positioned.
Yeah.
So they do. They head over to the school.
And someone says, this quite made me laugh unintentionally because someone says, "Oh, the problem is at the school, it's really well guarded. There's loads of robots there." And then they instantly get there and there doesn't appear to be any robots there when they peer over.
No, they just walk straight in the door.
Yeah.
Literally the front door of the school they walk in. Nate wants to go back. He's like, this place is crawling with robots, so I want to go back.
Yeah.
But they don't. Then they spot a man inside the school.
Well, first they say to Connor, "You're not coming with us.
Yeah.
We'll go in this room.
Yeah.
You stay here. Keep the battery."
Yeah, you stay outside where you're not allowed to be, and we'll go inside where we are allowed to be. They spot a man. Was it Smythe? Or was it a different man?
No, the first man was just a man walking through,
just a man who just
holding
happened to be in the
papers.
school. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they decide to follow him. And then he leads them kind of to like a filing cabinet room, and they find a load of files.
They do.
Of different people. Some have got red crosses on, some haven't.
Really quickly, they find Smythe's.
Yep.
Find that his wife and
kids are dead.
Yeah.
So he did actually kill them. And we find one of Sean's dad who
not got a red cross for it.
Doesn't have a red cross for it. So we know Sean's dad's alive now. Or at least the last time anybody updated these files, he was alive. But that, again, seems to be glossed over slightly.
Yeah.
But this is a...
What? And also, I'm going to point this out. In a boring admin nitpick...
Nitpick. I'm going to do a jingle for it.
We've been taken over by robot overlords.
Yep, hence the name of the film.
I, for one, welcome our new rulers. But why are we still having a paper-based filing system?
It's very true. It is very true.
It seems onerous.
It does.
In the least.
But anyway, this file with Sean's dad's face on tells them where he is, or where he was.
He's been shipped to zone 0108, something in binary.
Otherwise known as the hotel.
Yeah. Yeah. Sean just goes to a map and he's like, "Oh, he's at the hotel."
Yeah. Suddenly, though, disaster strikes when their implants start flashing.
They do.
So they're coming back online.
Yeah.
And they are not at home. This is an issue.
They are in the brown stuff.
They also have left Connor outside with the battery.
Yes. But he's a clever kid.
He is a clever kid. He knows what he's doing. He electrocutes himself.
Yep. He gets a reset.
Yep. But the others can't find him. And then suddenly, Nath and Alex are both grabbed by a giant robot arm.
Yeah. Looked terrible.
Yeah, it didn't look great. But Sean manages to get away. He legs it, but eventually he does surrender.
Yeah, they're in sort of the courtyard of the school, aren't they?
Yeah. And when Smythe comes to him and stands down the robots again.
Yeah, because he's got questions.
Yeah, he's got questions. He wants to know how...
But before he does all of that, he takes their sweets off them.
He does. And Sean calls him a lying shitbag.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really funny. So they take them back to the school. So they're all holed up at the school again. And then
there's like, how did you get out? What's going on? And none of them are talking.
No.
Can I just say, we haven't pointed out at this point, by the way, the character of Alex, who's the girl in this group, is played by Ella Hunt, who we have seen on this show before because she played Anna in Anna and the Apocalypse.
She was indeed. I believe that makes her the second time on the show. Also the second time a wildcard pick.
Yeah.
Which is really strange. Yeah. How random. Talking of random, Roy Hood comes in at this point. He's Alex's granddad, or Alex and Nath's granddad.
He's Morse Code Martin.
That's what they call him.
Yeah. I put he was someone's granddad.
Yeah, he was Nathan and Alex's granddad because they're brother and sister.
Okay.
And Smythe changes his implant, puts him a new one in.
Yeah.
And then straps him into this machine.
Yeah.
And apparently they're going to do a deep scan on his brain.
Indeed.
Okay.
Because Morse Code Martin, it turns out, is like been a bit of a conspiracy theory.
He's the anti-Smythe.
Yeah.
Smythe's like for the robots. Morse Code Martin's very much against them.
And Smythe's like, well, if you guys aren't going to tell me anything, we're going to deep scan your granddad.
Yeah.
And we will just extract all the information from him.
Which
we're going to
sounds-
take all of his memories and new ideas.
Which sounds fine until the mediator walks out or shuffles out.
Yeah.
He's a tiny little boy robot.
It's a boy man dwarf robot.
It's a boy man dwarf robot. That's a great way to describe it.
With like, so I think I took it as this is a real actor, and then they've like put a CGI face on him.
Yes, I think so.
And he kind of just looks.
He wasn't proportioned like a boy or a man.
No,
it was.
I wonder if that was by design because it was creepy.
It was really creepy, and he just kind of shuffles out, and he explains what's going to happen to Roy Hood at this point.
Yes.
He says his pain will be brief, but his data will last for eternity.
Yeah. They're downloading his brain.
Basically, they're downloading, and he explains further. He says what's going to happen is every thought he's ever
had
will happen at once now.
Yeah.
And then he won't be able to feed himself.
Yeah.
And will eventually die of natural causes.
It's like, don't think it's natural causes. You've turned him into a vegetable because you've
overstimulated his brain. And he can't feed himself now, so he just dies of starvation. Yeah. Nobody seems too bothered by this.
The kids aren't that bothered, are they? No.
Because it does happen.
Yes.
This happens to Roy Hood.
Yeah, they kill this guy.
And he ends up as a bubbling mess on the floor. But he's not dead. He's going to die of natural causes of starvation.
Yeah, I've just put Grandad's turned into a vegetable.
Yeah. But then they just leave him.
Yeah.
We never see him or hear of him again. No. Nobody ever mentions him again.
Sean's next up because Smythe hates Sean because
Smythe hates Sean because he's the obstacle of
lay with his mother.
All right, Shakespeare. He does. He wants to lay with Kate. That's the new naughty now. That's what we're calling it. But Sean's the obstacle in the way of that. So he does hate Sean. Sean's also very much against Smythe. So they are very much mortal enemies. So he straps him into this massive machine as well that's going to do this deep scan.
I didn't understand this next bit.
Nope, nor me.
This guy Smythe, I really can't get it past the fact that Ben Kingsley is playing this fucking imbecile character.
I think this is also some of the worst bit of acting we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Ben Kingsley does it.
Yes. But I think it's bad acting because of like how bad the effects are.
Yeah.
And he's done like his best with what he's probably been asked to do.
Yeah.
But it's just irredeemable.
Yeah, it is.
So they put Sean in this like gizmo and it starts up. So
it's got like a spinning ring.
Scan starts.
There's like a spinning ring going around him.
Whereas the Grandad seems to be immobilised quite quickly. Sean's still there and he's like fully compos mentis and he's taunting Smythe.
Yeah, he's literally ridiculing him and he talks to him about how we know you killed your wife.
Yeah, because you couldn't get it up. You got a little dick.
Yeah, basically that's exactly what's happening.
And Smythe is outside and he's really wound up by this. And despite this like spinning globe thing encasing Sean, he just goes to attack him.
Yeah.
And he gets knocked out by it.
He gets hit by this spinning globe thing.
Which is like 8 foot tall.
Yeah, like
it's insane.
He put him in. He owns it.
Yeah.
It is insane. It was like, okay.
And because he like interacts with this spinning thing, he gets knocked out. It kind of stops the thing working.
Yeah, it breaks the machine as well.
Yeah.
So and Sean manages to get through.
It makes no sense whatsoever.
It doesn't. It's one of the most ludicrous scenes we've ever seen.
It's absolutely ludicrous. The character would do that, and it's just I had to watch it 3 times.
I did rewind that bit as well, and then my next line says Connor's got firework arms.
Yeah.
So Connor snuck off in the meantime. He's made some like firework launchers that he strapped to his arm.
Yeah.
And he starts firing fireworks at everybody.
Yeah, it's like Roman candles, isn't it? It's just
yeah,
shooting them across the room.
And there's a whole kerfuffle going on. And they manage to escape. All the kids manage to get outside.
But they go via like the science block.
Yes.
Because Nate opens all the gas taps.
Okay. I was going to ask you that question. I didn't see that. Because then the school explodes.
Your old little Bunsen burner taps.
Right.
He turns them all on.
He does turn them all on.
Yeah. Which would have took a while, but let's gloss over that.
Fair enough. But then the whole school explodes.
Yes, because he leaves a lighter lit as well.
Why did I see that? No, I didn't see that scene. All I saw was him shooting off fireworks, and then suddenly the school explodes. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. We're taking it. They kind of then leave. They run away from the school. They kind of head down these like back alleys, and they all. Oh no, it's a bowling alley there.
Why aren't they being chased at this point?
Because everybody's like,
are still on.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know they are because they turn them off in the next
they do because they head to a bowling alley.
And I just want to again re-emphasize: we have been enslaved by robot overlords.
Yep.
They are like a hive mind of technologically advanced super killing machines.
Yeah.
But they just let these guys everything, and we've seen the movie has gone to pains to say if you step out even for a few seconds, a robot comes and it stands over to you and says you've got 30 seconds to get back in your house.
I guess you could explain that they were all in the school when the school exploded.
No, there's millions of robots around the world.
Robots.
Again, this is explicitly shown to us.
Yeah.
But just for this time where they escape from this school to the bowling alley, they're not chased.
In all fairness, we don't know how far that is.
No.
But
okay. Might have been a school with a bowling alley.
It might have been a school with a bowling alley. They head to a bowling alley purely because it's quite funny when you electrocute somebody for them to fly backwards and fly down a bowling alley.
Sure.
Because that's what happens. So they all electrocute themselves again.
Alex has done some maths and looked at a clock.
Yep.
She says every 13 hours the implants reset.
Which implies that since Nath electrocuted himself, 26 hours have now passed.
Okay.
Because they've electrocuted themselves twice.
Okay.
This can't be the case. It is still the same night. So they escape. They go to the sweet shop. They go to the school.
Yeah.
We've not been anywhere else in the meantime. And 13 hours passed there. And then it's... So, because they have to re-electrocute themselves. Is this the second time they've electrocuted themselves?
No, this is the first.
Okay, so 13 hours have passed.
Yeah.
No, it hasn't. I'll tell you that for a fact. Then they have an argument for a bit. Nathan and Sean have a bit of a set to.
Yeah.
But they decide, though, they still need to head to this hotel.
Let's go to the hotel. So we're in it now.
We're all right now. Our trackers are turned off again.
No point going home because Smythe's after us. So
so we can go to this hotel. So they do. And they go straight to the hotel.
I didn't mind this because there is actually an effort to show they've got to sneak around, avoid the robots.
So they still have to avoid the robots. The robots are still able to see people. They don't just read the trackers. Yeah. So they do avoid them. They just get into the hotel and one massive one walks past the door. So there's a bit of tension there, a little bit. However,
I like the next line in my notes.
Go on.
No, I wouldn't you go first. You carry on.
No.
Well, I've got they get to the hotel.
Yep.
They've avoided a robot.
Yeah. And
obviously, there's a secret fight club going on in the hotel.
It's pretty much also exactly what my note says. Of course, there's a fight club. Yeah, the hotel's full of people, and they're having a fight.
Yeah.
Fight club.
No, there's bets going on.
Yeah,
there's an actual fight.
There's fights going on and a fight club's going on. What?
Never reference.
Never.
Again.
Never reference. Nobody ever mentions it.
Because it stops when the kids walk in.
Yeah, because everybody's like, fuck, they're new people.
Never mentioned again.
Everybody stops. The whole room goes quiet. And then a whole mob of people start to grab them.
And they're like, whoa, we're just kids.
We're just kids, leave us alone. And Connor's like, I really need a wee.
Yeah.
Which was quite funny. And then they get introduced.
And Sean's like, I'm looking for my dad.
Yeah.
I think he was here. Does anyone know him?
The mob is stopped by a gunshot going off, which is fired by Tamer Hassan, who is quite a famous British actor. He's been in loads of stuff.
He plays this role in everything, doesn't he?
Plays a character called Wayne.
Yeah.
Of course.
He's like a gangster.
He does. He's a gangster. He's a Cockney gangster. And he takes them to introduce them to the leader of this place, who is called Monique.
Yeah.
She's also a very famous
Geraldine
James. Geraldine James. She kind of does this role quite a lot, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Like gangster lady.
Yes.
I guess. She's in charge of this whole place.
And they do an information swap.
Yes.
So they show these guys how to turn the implants off.
Yeah.
And in return, she takes them to meet
Swanee. Great.
Who is one of Sean's dad's friends.
Yeah, he's our old colleague / friend of Sean's dad.
Unfortunately, he seems to be somewhat mentally incapacitated.
Yes.
And sits in a wheelchair looking out a window.
Do you know who Swanee was played by?
I do. I want you to tell me.
He was played by Layla Roddy.
Yeah.
Also been in the show before.
Yes.
Not once, but twice.
Yeah.
This is his third appearance on the show. He was in Michael Inside.
Yes.
And he was also in Bad Day for the Cut.
Of course he was.
A few years ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is his third appearance on our show in small roles, admittedly. But crazy, really, that this little Irish man has been on our show 3 times.
And he just spouts some bollocks about watchmakers, Silver Lakes.
Follow the river to find the secret lake.
Yeah.
He shouts that at them a lot.
Yeah.
And they think, there must be something in there.
Stones.
Yeah, slaughter stones.
Gibberish.
Do we ever find a secret lake?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes. Yes, the Silver Lake.
Okay.
We do find that.
Excellent. Then just as they're finished talking to Swanee, a tannoy announcement is made outside.
Yeah.
And it says, the curfew has been suspended temporarily. Assemble outside for a zone chief address.
Yeah.
So the zone chief's going to chat to you. The zone chief is Robin Smythe.
Yes.
And basically, he sets the whole town looking for Sean.
Yeah, he says he's a wanted man.
He's a wanted man. We need him. There's an issue going on.
Here's his mum.
Here's his mum. She just wants him back.
Yeah.
Can we work together and try and find him?
He says, I've got a new base because the school exploded.
Yes.
We're now at the castle.
Yes.
So bring him
to the castle. Even though you're not allowed outside.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Bring him to the castle.
Yeah.
And you won't have seen him because you've not been outside, but he has. Sean, though, is in the crowd of people. He's kind of mingled himself in.
Yeah.
And he does get...
Someone's going to turn
Someone
him in.
grabs him. And
that's this guy.
Yeah, that's this guy standing next to me right here. Smythe doesn't hear the kerfuffle going on, and Wayne knocks this guy out silently and saves Sean's life again. And he saves him from being given up. Then, Kate is now captured in the castle, like a damsel in distress.
Yeah.
They're all back at the castle.
Surreptitiously
kidnapped. Yeah.
Because she's been taking her on the presumption that, come with me to the castle, we'll wait for Sean.
Yeah.
And it quickly dawns on her she's being held.
She's like the bait for Sean, I guess. So Sean gathers his team together. He's like, right, we need to put on hold the rescue of my dad because now we need to rescue my mum.
Yeah.
Because parents are a nightmare.
Yeah, we need to go to the castle, rescue Barbara. Sorry, Mum.
Wait for the salt to blow out.
Yeah. And then we'll go to find the secret slaughter stones and the Silver Lake.
Yeah.
All that shit.
So this scene baffled me completely. So they leave the hotel. They have a bit of a chat with Wayne. Wayne gives them a radio.
Yeah.
Monique has the other radio.
Yeah.
She's the leader. Remember her. She's going to direct them through the town.
Out of town.
Out of town, yes. And so avoiding the robots from her vantage point in the hotel.
Correct. Which you can see all these streets that these kids...
So these kids are running around small seaside village streets. Apparently somehow Monique can see them from wherever she is in this 100-story tall hotel, apparently.
There's no tension to this escape scene through the town whatsoever.
No, there's not.
It's really bad.
Yeah. So
I think it took a lot of steam. Well, whatever steam there was in this movie, this took a lot out
I was
of
also baffled by the next scene because Monique knows, Wayne knows, everybody knows the kids are going to the castle to rescue his mum. That's their plan. When they've gone, Wayne goes back into the hotel, puts the team together of his own goons to get Smythe.
Yeah,
who is also at the castle.
Yeah, they like weapon up.
Yeah.
And then that's never mentioned again.
No.
I
was just thinking, well, why haven't you gone with the kids?
Yeah.
Why haven't you all gone together?
That plot point is then just totally dropped.
Yeah,
there's never a guerrilla group that goes after the...
No, he never goes to the castle.
Yeah. Mental. Absolutely crazy.
Smythe then reveals, he's talking to Kate.
Yeah, and tells his evil plan.
He reveals his kind of why he's doing what he's doing. And basically, he's been given a promise of a better Earth. Yeah. He's got this like hologram thing.
He's one of the few people that have... Basically, the robots are lying.
Yeah, the robots are lying. They're actually going to wipe out the majority of the population.
They're going to do that deep scan on everyone.
On 1 billion people.
Yeah.
Not everyone. Yeah. 1 billion people. And these selected chiefs are going to be left in charge when the robots leave.
Yeah. They're going to be given some land each.
Smythe has been given 100 square miles of Tasmania.
Yeah.
Because of course he has. Because why would the people of Tasmania not want that?
Yeah.
Why has Smythe not been given the Isle of Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been given 100 square miles of Tasmania. So he says to Kate,
come
and live with me. You and Sean.
We'll be safe.
You're welcome to come and live with me in my 100-mile ranch in Tasmania. And Kate almost looks like she's considering it.
Yeah.
She's obviously not, but she's like, okay, this is interesting because this might be a survival technique if nothing else. The kids then get spotted by a robot, and the robot comes at them and gets really close to Sean. Sean, remember earlier, was in the booth thing that knocked out Smythe and had to have his implant changed.
Yeah.
So this new implant...
And he was like part scanned or something happened to him. That process started.
This implant, as far as I've understood the storyline of this film, is in connection mode.
Yeah.
because he was being connected to this machine, and is still now in connection mode. And now he can connect to the robots when they come close enough to him. Because this robot comes close enough to him, and then he realizes that he can suddenly control this robot.
Yeah.
Which is a big deal.
So he gets it to scratch its balls.
Yeah. It does.
Not even joking.
No, you're not even joking. It's a robot. It doesn't have any. But it was actually Nafe's idea. But this is a kid's film. But ultimately, this is a kid/teenager film. So you have to put some juvenile jokes in there. And
sure.
This is that.
Sure.
They make this robot dance a little bit. They make it scratch its balls. So then they're like, well, we've now definitely got the advantage.
Yeah.
Because I've got a fucking robot.
He's got his own, like, iron giant.
Yeah. So they turn up at the castle, and they're being...
Well, they do, just before that.
Yeah.
So this is, like, happening concurrently. Some kid turns up to give, like, Kate some dinner.
Yes.
And she's like, can you give me those keys, please? Because he's got the keys to the room and to get out. And he says, well, I know. I don't think I'm supposed to do that. She says, well, I'm not being held prisoner.
Yeah.
And actually, I recognise you because was she a teacher?
She was a teacher.
So she goes full on like teacher voice.
Yeah, she does.
And she's like, "Look,
she used to teach
Brian,
this kid. Yeah,
give me those keys right now.
Yeah,
go and ask Smythe. I don't care. It's just really weird.
Yeah, she used to teach this lad, and he's still scared of her as a teacher. And he does give her the keys. Meanwhile, Sean and the crew turn up with this robot.
Yeah,
but they've made it look like the robot's escorting them to the castle.
Correct. Yeah.
So Smythe's like thanking this robot, thinking it's done a great job, and then Sean sets it on attack mode, and it attacks Smythe, or goes to attack Smythe. Smythe panics.
They get the volunteers to put the weapons down.
Yep, so they put the weapons down. Sean says, "Can you bring up my mum?"
Yeah, and then Kate comes razzing past, riding a horse.
She does. So
just across the courtyard.
Smythe sends his goons off.
Like, "Is that your mum?"
Smythe sends his goon off to fetch Kate. Within seconds after that, Kate comes bezzing past on a horse.
Where's she got the horse from?
Where the fuck's the horse come from? I don't know. Gillian Anderson looks great on a horse.
And they're like, "Mum, mum," but she just goes.
She just goes. She clears off.
Yeah.
She doesn't notice there's kids outside controlling these robots. This distracts everybody, and then other robots start to attack Sean.
It's robot on robot action.
It's robot on robot action now. But as soon as any of them get near to Sean, he can control it.
Yeah.
So Nathan and Alex start shooting at the robots with their shotguns, which they've managed to find somewhere. Sean then takes control of a sentry robot, which is basically just a gun
on spider legs,
which manages to take out another one of those. And Smythe runs. He does a run up.
Yeah.
In any good movie, if you're going to run away, you're going to run up.
Sure.
You don't run away. You run up some stairs.
Go up to the battlements of the castle.
Smythe runs up to the battlements of the castle. Nafe's following him. Nafe has a grudge against Smythe for killing
his granddad. Yeah.
Fair. He backs Smythe up onto the ramparts of this castle, and just as he's about, he is going to shoot him.
I thought he did shoot.
He shoots the gun. He doesn't hit him.
Okay.
Because just before that, Smythe runs out of rampart and falls backwards.
Yeah. Onto a
conveniently placed medieval tent. You know, like when
canopy.
Canopy thing. You know, in old westerns when they always land on the canopies. It's exactly what happened. Gets up and runs off. And Nafe's just looking at him like, oh, I can't believe he's got away. He's just fallen off the top of a castle. This has happened.
Gandhi can do anything.
Meanwhile, Kate's still on a horse.
Yep.
Sean and the kids are in a car, which they found from somewhere.
Two of them are on like quad bikes.
Quad bikes, yeah. And they catch up with her.
Yeah, because she's only on a horse.
So they're going across a beach, which has come out of nowhere as well. So they catch up with her. They're shouting her name, and she eventually pulls this horse up.
Yeah, sure.
And she's like, oh, and they have a big reunion.
And Nate's like, can you drive this car?
That's a funny line.
A bit.
That's a funny line. I'll give him that. Nate got out. He's like, I don't want to drive anymore. Can you drive, please, Mum? And she does. So they have a bit of a reunion. She hugs all the kids. Everything's going on.
What happened to the horse?
You feel like at this point you're coming quite close to the end of this film. You're not. We've still got a long way to go yet. The robots decide they want Sean alive. And
yeah, because they're like, this is different.
Yeah, nobody's ever managed to connect with us.
We need to know what's going on here.
Yeah, the manipulator or whatever he's called.
The mediator says to Smythe,
why can't I get that in my head?
There's a massive spaceship on the way.
Yeah.
And it's got enough capacity to deep scan hundreds of thousands of people at a time.
They're going to deep scan everyone in this zone.
Yeah. He said that, and Smythe's like, oh shit, that's not what we signed up for.
No.
And the mediator says to Smythe, if Sean is not back with us in
before noon tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some arbitrary timeline, you will be the first person that we scan.
Yep, we're going to scan the leader first.
Yeah.
Smythe's not happy about that. He doesn't want to be scanned. Then they get to these stones.
The slaughter stones.
The slaughter stones that they were talking about earlier, which is a bit like a mini Stonehenge, I guess.
Yeah, basically.
But it's been completely graffitied by people trying to find people during the war, I guess. And Connor comes back. Connor's the young kid, remember him? He was in it ages ago. He lies down on one of these stones and manages to realise that all of the graffiti, when you put it in from a certain angle, reads... There's a message written on these stones.
Cross river 3 times to safety.
Yeah.
Luckily, they've got a map.
Luckily, somebody's
not mentioned
brought a map with them.
And they find out there's a tin mine.
Yeah, it's leading them to an underground tin mine.
It has a lake by it.
Yes.
That is the Silver Lake.
Okay.
And that is where they are now heading.
That is where they've got to head, because a tin mine is full of metal, so the robots can't control the implants down there, apparently. There's another funny line from Nath here now, because they're walking through the forest, and Nath's like, I'm so hungry, I'm thinking about eating Connor.
Yeah.
And he just says it like that, so deadpan, and it really made me laugh, because everybody kind of
he did have a couple of good lines.
He did have some good lines. He's really hungry, basically. And then they spot a kid in the distance.
Yeah, in the woods.
Just in the woods. So they chase it. And then they lose it. But what they find is a Spitfire.
Sure.
Because why not?
Yeah.
Because this film's not balmy enough already. There is a good reason why the Spitfire's there. But
there's a reason.
It comes later on.
There's a group of people. They found a camp.
Yeah, they basically found a settlement.
Yeah.
That has a Spitfire. And Sean's like shouting at these people.
He's like, my dad was a pilot.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think mentioned previously.
I don't think it was, no. But he's like shouting at these people who all look at him like dumbfounded, because I haven't seen any new people for ages, I suppose.
He's like, is Danny Flynn here?
Where's my dad? And then his dad comes out.
Yeah.
And then he has a reunion with his dad, and everybody's hugging again.
And his wife.
Which
I had kind of forgotten that they were wives.
Not Sean's wife.
Yeah.
Sean's dad's wife, Kate. So yeah, there's another scene of reunion and hugging, and everybody's really happy. And then he shows him around the camp a little bit.
Got quite a nice setup here.
Yeah, they are.
Very picturesque.
And Nath's like, is this the resistance? Are we going up against the robots? And Sean's dad, he's called Danny.
Yeah.
He's like, the resistance is long gone.
Yeah.
We're just living here now. This is where we live. This is where we survive. This is what we do. We can't resist these things anymore. The war lasted 11 days.
Yeah, he says that literally my last order that I had was to go and find this. We knew we had this Spitfire.
Yeah.
Because it's old.
Yeah.
Even though it's been done up and repurposed, because it's like a 2-person one. It's
yeah,
like a training plane.
Yeah.
He's like, it's got no electronics.
It's mechanical.
Yeah.
So the robots can't do anything.
But we've never used it. We've never done it.
We've not been able to do anything with it. Then all of a sudden, somebody spots a drone.
Yeah.
One of the robots coming towards them. So they all run into the mine for cover, but only just inside the door of the mine.
Yes, correct.
And apparently this happens numerous times during the day, and it's just a way of life now. This is what we have to do. But there's a guy in this mine called Donald.
Yes.
Donald is able to safely remove people's implants.
He's the watchmaker referred to by the gibbering wheelchair guy.
Swanee.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's removed all of these people's implants, which is why they're allowed to live outside on this commune.
Yes.
They don't have any implants in. Meanwhile, we cut back to Smythe. Smythe now has Wayne.
Yeah, he's torturing the gangster.
How did he get Wayne?
Don't know.
We've not seen Wayne since
So
he was put in an army.
Did that all happen off camera?
Yep.
And it all failed? We're not told that. There's not even a line that says,
we don't know how he got him, where he came
we've killed all your army friends, or nothing.
Nope.
He's just there.
He's just there, and he's strapped into this machine. Smythe calls him a chav.
Yes.
Then he tells him what chav means, or what people think chav means. And then he says, which really, really popped me, he said, Wayne, what kind of a chav name is that?
Yeah, it's true.
It is very true.
Yeah.
Very chavvy name. It really made me laugh. And then he gives him the deep scan. He puts him through this machine, this same machine as before.
Yeah.
And apparently this is where we find out they're going to deep scan 1 billion people in a year, which is a lot of people to do in a year. But that's their plan. Kate's revealing this around the campfire at night because Smythe told her.
Exactly.
Smythe's given her this detail. Danny says there's nothing we can do. We can't fight them. The fighting's all over. We're just going to have to let them deep scan this 1 billion people. And then the next morning, everybody wakes up to a loud droning noise.
Yeah, there's loads of robot noises, basically.
And then loads of robots come. 11 of the big walking robots turn up.
On the sort of top of the cliff.
So
presumably they have extracted the info from Wayne.
Presumably.
This is where the kids were heading.
Anybody else, so they must have. Even though he hasn't seen the kids since he left.
He knew where they were heading.
He knew they were going to their castle. Did he know they were going?
No, he knew they were going.
Did he know where they were going?
I think so. Well, I was prepared to let it go.
So Smythe turns up with these robots and the mediator, and he basically gets on his tannoy to this commune and says,
"Give up, Sean.
Give up, Sean.
And we'll spare the rest.
If not, you're all going to be killed. We're gonna bury into the ground and turn the ground into lava. That's how we're going to kill you."
So Sean's already gone. That's the problem. But then, this robot cube comes over the horizon. This huge cube spaceship, and then a massive drill drops out the bottom.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Well, if you don't give him up, this spaceship here over my shoulder is going to drill into the very mantle of the earth and turning the ground underneath you into molten lava." And I'm thinking, there's no fucking way this movie's got the budget to do that.
And it doesn't. So this starts a riot in the commune because everybody's like, well, all we need to do is get rid of this kid. He's only turned up yesterday. And so they go looking for him. They don't find him. He isn't there. He's already
gone.
left.
Yeah.
He's gone, and he's also now put his implant back in. He had
Yes.
his implant removed. He's put that back in, and he's gone back into connection mode. And then the next time we see him, he's flying on a drone.
Yes, he's riding a drone robot.
A great big machine. He's riding it. He's like standing on it like he's some sort of superhero. And then the mediator flies up there and stands next to him. And he actually has a chat with this little robot boy man thing.
That's intercut with Danny trying to convince Nathan to get in the Spitfire with him.
Yeah.
And take to the skies.
Yeah. Because Sean's in trouble now.
Yeah.
We weren't fighting before, now we're fighting.
But Sean's on the front of this huge spaceship.
Yeah. And it's heading towards this even bigger spaceship, the cube, the main cube drills thing. And the mediator's trying to reason with him because he's like, we've never seen anybody connect to us before, but it says you have a 94% chance of not surviving this. Yeah. You need to stop. You need to...
He's like, we'll give you immunity, we'll give your family immunity if we can just study you.
He basically offers them a chance to survive. But he's going to crash this ship into this other ship, and he's determined he's going to do it.
I've written he should kick this robot boy off the side of the spaceship.
What he does do, he doesn't do that, but he does try and connect with it, because this also has a chip.
Yeah.
But that doesn't quite work.
He kind of gets Sean gets a view of like the whole global network of robots.
He briefly connects and then he gets kicked out, I think. Then they're all trying to shoot him down. There's bullets and lasers and all sorts firing at him.
And he like turns the ship, doesn't he?
Yes. And he manages to put it on a collision course with this cube ship. And then all of a sudden the Spitfire flies past with Nathan and Danny in it. That's shooting at all the robots. There's a fuckload of stuff going on at this point. And then just before the ship is about to hit the other ship...
We didn't mention that as the ship turns, the mediator can't hang on.
Yeah.
Because of his little robot boy hands. And he like plummets to the ground.
Even though he flew up there, he falls off.
Oh, yeah. No, he got took up there by a drone because it was a terrible special effect.
Yes, he did. He was kind of hanging off the bottom of it. That's true. And just before the two ships are about to impact each other, Sean jumps off. And he's falling. He's falling through the sky. He's going to die. Yeah. But he can connect to robots. So he manages to connect to a drone, which catches him, basically.
These ships are humongous.
Yeah.
And they've already started to collide. Yeah. This is your old unrealistically jumping away from a huge explosion times 1,000,000.
Yeah. It really is.
There's no way he could have survived this.
But he jumps away from it. He gets caught.
Not a scratch on this guy.
No. And then basically... the robots just pack up and leave.
Yes, didn't make sense.
There's literally my next note. The ship explodes, the robots pack up and leave. Smythe tries to stop them, but you can't really do that. The robots then turn on him.
Because they're like, your local cube has malfunctioned.
Yeah, please, basically citizen return to your house, or we'll obliterate you. His override code has stopped working, that he's been using all the way through this. And it's like, it gives him 15 seconds to return home. He's in the middle of a field. He ain't getting home in 15 seconds. So he gets obliterated.
Yep.
That is the end of Ben Kingsley in this film. The end of Robin Smythe. And almost the end of the film. We're getting there now. Then the next time we see Sean, he's lying on the floor, strangling the mediator.
Yeah, who's like half a boy. He's now half a boy because he's like been chopped in two.
His legs have come off. He's strangling him round the neck, even though this is a robot.
Yeah.
And then as he's doing that, all the robots shut down.
Yeah, he links back to this global network
And manages to shut them all down.
Yeah.
So you see this montage of all the massive walker robots shutting down and collapsing on themselves.
And all the cubes in the sky start to explode.
Yeah, they start to fly away and then explode. And then we see the globe and a pulse like goes out across the globe.
Yeah.
And all the robot cubes start exploding. All the robots start cutting down. And then Sean just collapses. His brain can't handle this. And my next note says, Alex kisses him awake.
Yeah.
Because they said, oh, give him the kiss of life.
Yeah.
But she reads that as snog his face off.
Snog his unconscious face off.
But it works because he wakes up and then he's absolutely fine again.
Party at the castle.
Yep. The sky's full of exploding ships. There's going to be a lot of debris from all these exploding ships. A lot of people are going to get killed by the falling debris, I would think. A lot of buildings are going to get destroyed.
You would have thought so.
But then we have a party at the castle to celebrate it's basically the party at the end of Independence Day, isn't it, when the aliens come? We have a party at the castle and the film ends.
Yeah. But not the last image is Sean looking to the sky.
Yeah.
In a sort of sequel bait. Oh, they'll be back.
They'll be back. He's looking at a starry sky over the castle. Yeah, and then we've done. What did you think, Nick?
Oh, so strange.
It's a really weird film.
Like, it's not what I expected because it's not like... I kind of feel like my initial reaction was it's not bad enough to be awful
No.
to totally hate watch, but it's not good enough to be good at all.
No.
Because I was surprised at how glossy this looked.
It looks great. It looks like a big budget film.
Yeah, put in the effects aside for a sec.
Yeah.
Like, just
Some
when
of the
it's just
effects are
people.
great.
Yeah. And the effects are fine. They're bad when they, like I say, when they have to interact with people. And it's now gone into the territory for me of like, okay, how has this got made with this budget? Because I was expecting an absolute shonky asylum sort of special effects budget type thing. But no, this has got some money to it.
Yeah,
this is
some
a
money,
budget.
yeah, definitely.
I don't know how it's attracted these people. It's not a good... It's terribly written. It's badly directed. It's not a good story. Stuff happens just to propel the next scene along. I didn't like this movie. But I didn't hate this movie.
I actually had some fun with it because
there are parts that are fun.
It's entertaining.
But I'm really torn.
I know what you mean.
It whizzed by.
It whizzes by. It's entertaining. It's fun. It baffles me that it can attract. This should be a low budget B movie.
Yeah.
This was written as a low budget B movie,
Yeah.
I imagine. And then somebody's gone, let's throw some money at this and put
I
Ben
can get
Kingsley
you Ben Kingsley. Can you put
couple
$2
of
million
million
towards it or something?
Because this shouldn't be. This was not written with having him playing that role, and it wasn't written even with somebody of Gillian Anderson's caliber. This film shouldn't have that in it?
Sure,
but it has, and that blows my mind.
And it ends up just being this really weird thing that's neither or, is it? It's neither this sort of hate watching terrible movie, but it's not good enough to be a good movie.
It's a teen movie. It's made for teenagers to watch and enjoy. It's chewing gum for the eyes, basically. It's something to watch on Netflix.
But I think that's doing teenagers a real disservice because they're going to see through this straight away and go, "This is just."
It really reminded me.
Of crap.
Do you remember The Last Bus, which was the TV show that came out a few months ago? The Lord and Savior Drew Casson did an episode of. It really reminded me of that. It had that same sort of feel to it.
Okay.
But
less thought through, sort of thing.
No, probably not. It was very similar to that. But that's a low budget TV show that's on Netflix for teenage kids to watch.
Yeah.
This is a big budget film with Ben Kingsley in it.
That had a cinema release.
But I far from hate it. I actually quite enjoyed it.
I didn't hate it, but it was...
It's a fun time.
It annoyed me, because once I'd realised, okay, this has got some money behind it, it's got some talent in it, I then really got annoyed when they were just like, oh, here's that really important piece of information about your dad that just happens to be here in this place that we just happen to be in. You know, the exposition dump, the whole, oh, we're going to take an army to take these guys on, and then that never happens. It's really lazy. Where the script was not amended because they realised, oh, we can't afford to film all this stuff. I don't know. It could be any of that, but it's a mess, isn't it?
It is a mess.
Yeah. But it's really interesting.
It's interesting and it's good fun.
That it exists.
Yeah. I had fun watching it. I expected to enjoy watching it because it sounds ludicrous from the synopsis and from the cast list.
Yeah.
I actually did enjoy watching it. But it is all of the things you just said.
Yeah.
But it's good fun.
It's weird. It's an interesting thing that exists.
It's definitely an interesting thing.
I
know. Look how long we've talked about it. We're nearly an hour.
Well, just recapping it's just like, this is bonkers.
The more we've talked about it as well, the more bonkers things that have come into my mind as we've talked about it. But yeah, it's insane. But it's all right.
Cool.
Should we talk Stream Table?
Yeah.
Do you want me to run from the bottom? Or are we too far in now?
I mean, yeah, you can if you want. I think it's in the top 10.
Okay, I'll go top 10.
It's not down there in the bottom 3, is it?
No way. Currently number 10 is Hard Times. Currently number 9 is Comes a Bright Day. 8 is The Land of Steady Habits. 7 is The Parts You Lose. 6 is All at Sea. 5 is XOXO. 4 is Bodycam. 3 is Pentagram. 2 is The Trip. And 1 is Summit of the Gods.
Okay.
Pentagram and Bodycam need to stay together because I like how it rhymes. 4 is Bodycam. 3 is Pentagram. Do you have an initial thought? I do.
I do as well.
Okay.
Do you want to go first? Because I chose the movie this week. So.
Okay. I want to put it 6th.
That's really interesting because my internal debate was, surprisingly, and I surprised myself here, do I like this or did I enjoy this more or less than last week's movie?
Okay. I thought you'd be lower than that. That's interesting.
No, I think it's more interesting than... I really didn't like All at Sea, and it's too high for me.
Okay.
So I enjoyed it more than All at Sea.
I did also. I enjoyed it more than The Parts You Lose and The Land of Steady Habits. It's better than that.
Yeah, surprisingly to me, I never thought I'd be saying this before I watched this movie last week. I enjoyed XOXO more than Robot Overlords.
They're two very different films.
Yeah. So
I've gone in with 6. I've said 6.
Yeah.
I could be, if you were to persuade me to put it 5th, I could. But you're right. I think
they're both chewing gum.
Yeah, they are. They're both
nothing.
They're both
kind
nothing
of movies.
chewing gum movies, and there seems to be the theme of this season. We've still had nothing that's fucking great, even when we're picking the films ourselves.
I'm surprised you've put it in the same place as me. Because my gut reaction is it doesn't quite.
Did you think I'd go higher?
So. I thought you might be one higher. I thought we were going to be in a similar place.
So it's either side of XOXO, but I think we're both in agreement.
I don't think it doesn't quite top XOXO.
I probably enjoyed this more, but I can see that that's a better film. So it depending on how you want to do the Dream Table.
I think 6.
I think 6 as well. I think that's fair. It's definitely better than All at Sea. All at Sea is the other British film in this.
I gotta be honest. I was gunning for the bottom with this.
Did you expect it to go bottom before we'd watched?
No, I wanted a good episode, and I think hopefully we've got one. I think we have. But I thought that this was going to be the sort of more of a, oh god, it looks terrible. It's like I didn't expect it to be as much of a properly shot, nice looking movie as it was.
Agreed. I didn't either. I expected low budget.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah. Didn't get it. 6th.
Yeah.
Excellent. Who'd have thunk it?
Well, there you go.
But you haven't won the wildcard race again.
That's fine.
You're actually 3rd out of 3. Shall we pick next week's film?
Let's do it.
What we after? What do you want?
Less robots, please.
Less robots. Okay, I can do that. Hopefully. Robin, pick us a film. He has picked us a film called Ghosts of War.
Okay.
Any ideas?
War film?
War film, ghost film? It is, in fact, both of those things. It is a horror thriller war film.
Okay.
From 2020.
Oh.
Bit more recent than we've been.
Baby film.
Last few weeks we've gone over a few years ago, haven't we? Hour and a half. Do you want the synopsis?
Yes, please.
5 American soldiers assigned to hold a French chateau near the end of World War II. This unexpected respite quickly descends into madness when they encounter a supernatural enemy more terrifying than anything seen on the battlefield.
Oh, cool. Sounds intriguing.
It does sound intriguing. Brenton Thwaites is in it.
Okay.
He has been on the show before. He's in Office Uprising.
Yeah, I remember that
I think
movie.
he might have been in something else as well. But I'll check that out before next week, obviously. But yeah, that's what we're watching. A ghosty war film.
Good.
Why not? All sorts of shit goes down on this show, doesn't it? It's crazy.
Sure does.
So yeah, go out and watch Ghosts of War. And in the meantime, check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Letterboxd. The same username at BOTS_podcast. If you want to drop us an email, you can do that. It's bottomofthestream@gmail.com. And if you want to check out our website is bottomofthestream.com. On there, you will find every episode we've ever recorded, all of the stream tables, loads of other cool stuff, and you can even get some merch if you want to buy a Bottom of the Stream
Fan.
You were looking at my fan then.
Yeah.
That's so lazy.
But I was thinking of an actual hand fan.
Okay.
You know, like a proper, nicely drawn.
Fair.
Does anyone use them anymore?
Nah.
Like ladies when they're out boating.
Yeah. I think they're the only people that do it when ladies get on boats. That's the only time it happens.
After a good lay. To cool down.
Okay. Yeah, why not? You always need a fan after a good lay. So you've thrown me now. Where did I get to? Patreon. Patreon.com/bottom of the stream.
Yeah.
For a couple of quid every month, you will get early access to episodes. You will get bonus episodes. You will get a newsletter that Nick writes every month.
Sure.
And if you come in at the top level, you will get a wildcard, which means you can do what Nick's just done and you can pick the film that we watch.
Use it more wisely.
Use it more wisely than Nick did. And then when you've done all of that, head over to Discord. In the Discord you'll find loads of cool people, loads of good movie fans, loads of really nice, friendly chats going on there. We play games in there. We do watch-alongs. All sorts of cool stuff. We just
all the time.
hang out and have fun. The Discord link will be in the bottom of the show notes.
If you can spare a few minutes, please consider leaving us a review or a rating anywhere you can review or rate podcasts. That could be Podbean, Podchaser, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, absolutely anywhere. We are on all of those places. Come and find us, come and rate us, come and review us, because it really helps get the word out about our little show.
Does indeed. So do all of that. Go out and watch, what was it called? Ghosts of War.
Ghosts of War.
And then we'll be back on Monday for The Wave and next Thursday for the movie show.
Cheers.
Bye.